The Hungry Creators podcast with Mezame is all about celebrating the creator's journey. We'll be talking about the challenges that they faced, the failures they had to overcome, and the success stories that they're working towards or have already experienced. This podcast is brought to you by Amaran, as well as Shura, and of course with support from City Music Co. Private Limited. All right. Welcome to the very first episode of the Hungry Creators podcast with Mezame. And I'm your host, Mezame. And I have two very special guests in the home studio today. Here we have Yeegn Lougn, the sales director for City Music, as well as Hsin Loong, the marketing director for City Music. And you can see that they are from City Music because they actually have the shirt on. I'm from nowhere. My shirt is all blank. So for those of you guys who are wondering, these are the two gentlemen who are responsible for basically supporting our podcast setup. These gentlemen are the ones who actually put me on this path for, elevating my content creation, basically. I got to know them a few years ago. I think our first interaction was when we had collaboration with, I think, Invicta. That was back in the old office. And these gentlemen, they have been very consistent in supporting us, or even by us, I mean like content creators in general, in terms of all things audio and all that. So very blessed to have the two of them in the studio today. And, as we mentioned time and time again, even in my previous podcast, as well as my previous live streams, I do want to share that this podcast, The Hungry Creators, is all about sharing your personal lives as well as the business side of things. And we always talk about the main three pillars, which are the challenges that you face, the failures you had to overcome, and the success stories that you want to share with people. Or maybe if you're a work in progress, you can actually share with all of us, like what what's your plan going to be like, right? So as mentioned before, I do have a long list of questions. Now, these questions are not for myself, not by myself. Like some of the questions are actually by some of my viewers, and they're very keen and excited to hear more about you guys because some of the creators, I think you might have actually met them before, right? You've interacted with them in past events or even like what do you call it, at your own events or even at major events like Comex and things like that. And you've spoken with them and maybe they even have things to share about how much you have helped them. And you know what, even for myself also, I would like to say thank you so much. I know we haven't gone through the meat of the entire podcast yet for this episode, but I owe it to you guys to actually make things so much better for the entire community. Thank you so much. Yep. So Hsin Loong and Yeegn Lougn, 43 years in the business. Oh, 43 years, I think. Since the first day where your dad actually launched City Music. Yeah, how has it been so far?
Actually, it's not 43 years, right?
It's not 43 years? Or is it more? Because I think now 2025 already. It's 45? 45 years?
Oh, 47 years.
47, 1968. 2025 minutes. Oh yeah, my mathematics is very bad.
Sorry, 57 years.
57 years.
Yes.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
We're just a few years behind SG60.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I have no idea why my math very bad. So
43 years isn't wrong. You probably remember it because we were in Peace Center.
oh, right.
Before we moved over.
Okay. That was the previous location. I think that's why the numbers actually stuck with me. But it didn't occur to me that when I interact with you guys, the numbers 1968, that's when you were founded. My mathematics teacher, if you're tuning in, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so tell me more, or rather tell the audience a little bit more about yourselves. I think it will be quite interesting to hear more about your own past history, like how you came to be in this business. How did you actually like evolved over the years? Because there's so many things that has happened over the years. I think we've had COVID. You guys actually moved out from Peace Center, and I've seen over the years working with you guys, you actually have changed quite a fair bit. I would like to say that City Music is all about adaptability, right? So maybe you can start with Hsin Loong.
Okay. I joined the company in May of 2007. Back then, I'm still fresh. bit of background about me. I'm design trained, so I study a lot about multimedia design, from illustration to photography, videography, even website designing, interface design, HTML coding, 3D rendering. So I joined City Music not knowing much about what to expect, but I joined in as in the marketing department to try and put my skills to use actually. One of the first major projects undertakings that we did in about a year after I joined was actually to implement e-commerce for
Right.
our company. Actually, we do have another company in Malaysia. It's called CK Music as well.
Is that the one? Because I remember I took a screenshot when I was in the traffic, and then I sent it to
That's the one.
to you. So that is under City Music as well. It was quite refreshing to actually see a familiar brand that I see in Singapore in the middle of, I think it was near Kuala Lumpur side. Yeah.
Jalan B.
Janimbi, yeah. And I immediately texted you. I was like, "Is this the real deal? Or
That's
did
us.
someone copy your logo?" So I was like quite confused at first. Then I realized that you guys actually have a branch in Malaysia. Having said that, for someone to actually come in doing graphics design, how different it is for you to actually switch over to sound,
Wow.
or do you integrate both together and it becomes like sort of like a parallel thing?
I guess sound got to slowly come to me as I learn. It's not something that I will immediately pick up on. I had to learn about musical instruments, the music side of things, as well as audio throughout the years while I'm still working on the design and the creative visual aspects of things. So as I was saying, one of the first major undertakings we did was to go e-commerce actually. So back in 2008, we launched the first e-commerce website for musical instruments retailer in Malaysia, and 2009 was Singapore City Music. So back then, we were doing things like even SEO, search engine optimization, but most people did not even know what it was.
Yeah, that's true.
And back then, probably there was only me in so-called. There wasn't a proper marketing department back then. Many companies, whatever staff, sales staff, admin staff, manager, whatever, they'll just chip in and, okay, let's do a bit of marketing. Let's plan a bit of events here and there. Let's all help out, take some photos to post on social media. That was still a very new thing for businesses back then.
That was in 2008. So Facebook was still
Yep.
very strong, right? Like Facebook
Yep.
was very popular back
Yep.
then
Yep.
compared to now. Now it's like, wow, everything everywhere else, like
Yep.
Instagram, Threads, Twitter,
And TikTok, and-
TikTok especially. Especially with visuals, moving visuals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back then, me alone, basically running the whole marketing operations together with the help of all our colleagues, the sales guys, managers, everybody. It took me probably about 6 months to populate the entire website with about 2,000 SKUs worth of products.
2000 SKUs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
got to do all the product images right, make sure they're all high res, clean up the white background. There are certain products that we even have to do our own product shoots because not all the products that we carry we could get the products images from our suppliers. Some of
Right,
these
right.
products are our own products. So we just got to experiment, learn the hard way. We buy mahjong paper, paste it around our showroom, position spotlights. We didn't have proper photography lights.
We're using IKEA lights also.
No, just regular spotlights from our showroom.
See, they're a lot better than me. When I first started, I was just IKEA lights. It's like very, very sad, humble beginnings. But I think we all start somewhere. What I like to share is our listeners, especially, because I think most of the folks tuning in right now are content creators who are trying to find that foothold in content creation. And then the number one thing they always ask me, especially because I do run workshops, right? So some of them actually do ask, like, is gear important? And do you feel the same way as well?
Well, I think the gear is definitely important, but it can only help you to a certain level. Ultimately, it's the person, the craftsman behind the gear.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So in terms of like humble beginnings, that's the marketing side. What about the sales side? I think this is something I would be very, very interested in also, because in my line of work, I do have to touch a little bit on sales, because I myself, am a brand. So apart from marketing myself, I also have to put myself out there and reach out to brands. That's how we work exactly, right? In the beginning. So from a sales perspective, how did it flow from the humble beginnings as well?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us, Mezame.
My pleasure.
I could you can see my eyes are all over your little studio.
Everywhere.
Yes, your so-called humble studio is definitely not humble at all. It's just amazing.
It's very arrogant. Thank you.
Yeah, coming back, sales. Yeah, sales is all about for us retail. That's our number one end game, right? We need the sales to keep us going.
Yeah.
So sales have evolved a lot since where we started. We started off. If you allow us to date back where we started, our father started as a very traditional piano shop, selling acoustic piano. 60s, 70s, we went into the electric transistor phase. We went into electric organs. That's where musical instruments at that point started to become a bit more exciting. In the 80s, you have the synthesizers came in, guitars. Of course, we also grew alongside with the rock and roll era, 60s, 70s, Jimi Hendrix, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, right? And then, and we moved to 90s, 2000, hip hop. And, the whole music industry has evolved. That's where we grew up from. So from music, it evolved into audio, which is very related. So we are dealing with clients. We're offering solutions from besides musical instruments to audio. So we have audio for the studio guys, the home studios, the engineers, the sound engineers, the live sound, and then came COVID. COVID is the very interesting. It's brutal. It's a wake-up call.
It is.
It killed a lot of people. Let me rephrase that. I think a lot of us evolved from COVID. Some of us evolve into something else. Some people are born out of COVID.
Yeah.
So if I were to see about even for us now, cine music, the solutions that we're offering now is no longer just music and audio. We have to go into light and even video and camera, because today we have to part music and audio as part of the total solutions of content creation.
So sort of like an all-in-one solution for the content creators. And it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because I started content creation during COVID period, and I think you were there as well when you saw me approach you guys for help and support, because I have no clue about audio. Like, you ask me about lighting, maybe I know a thing or two. You ask me about camera works, yeah, sure. But when it comes to audio, it's a whole different ballgame altogether. And one thing I learned in a very brutal manner from live streaming is that audio is the most important aspect of content creation. Because if the audio is crap, you will lose your audience.
Yeah.
That's something I learned from you guys, especially, you with all your sharings and seminars and workshops. Yeah. So I also noticed that you mentioned that your business side of things actually evolved along the years based on trends, like the different popular genres. Like, you mentioned just you started out with rock and roll, and then it evolved to hip hop, and then so on and so forth. Up to today, now we have all sorts of different genres of music. To be honest, I also don't understand what music is going on right now, because everything is like a mishmash, and I love it. It's like a lot of remixes of the 80s music. Like, if you watch Marvel movies, wow, all the old school music being given a modern take. Yeah, it's a very nice.
We have a rationale for your observation. Actually, is because the whole music industry has changed.
Yeah.
It's actually suffering the same fate as movies now.
Oh.
because of digitization, because of online streaming. Unfortunately, Spotify came with a double-edged sword, even with Apple Music. Just like Netflix, it has really affected cinema
Yeah.
business. So, music industry today, the musicians of today versus our pioneers. We are talking about the veterans in the 60s and 70s. In those days, they can make a very, very good, decent living
Yeah.
just doing music, performing, making music. Today is you have to do a lot more things. So, we can't sell, they can't depend just on selling records today, because you're going to have even 10 million streams on Spotify for that song. You're not going to be paid a lot of money at all, actually.
And I heard a lot of stories about the Spotify CEO being this not so nice entity. I won't even call it individual.
Yeah.
He's like this,
Correct.
entity by itself already.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists are not exactly.
So after COVID, and COVID made it worse because it really disrupted the whole thing.
Yeah.
So if you look at what's happening in the music scene right now, who are the ones still going out there championing, doing live shows, recording new music? They are all the veterans,
Yeah, that's true.
right? The
That's true.
amount of new music content being pumped up as of right now, as compared to the 90s to 2000, it's very, very, very much behind as what we used to have. So that's why you see less new content, but you see a lot of discovery, especially with the next generation, the Gen Zs and the Alphas. They are discovering they're discovering music that I grew up with.
Yeah.
For example, my nephew, 12 years old, he told me, "Oh, this song by Tears for Fears is quite nice." It's like, how would you know this, man? But because the thing is, this is what's happening right now. The younger generation are discovering older music content, which is good because the old music content are really, really good stuff. in
Very
those
true.
days.
Very true.
And
Very
give
true.
them a bit of a time, couple of years, they will start to maybe get interest and inspired to recreate music content from the stuff that they have been absorbing right now. And that's where another new generation of evolution of new music creators later on. So as for now, I would see the music scene is a little bit quiet now, but I think it's they are actually absorbing a lot of all the good stuff that we used to have.
And then would you say that once they have reached critical mass, then you start to see another evolution of music?
Correct.
Yeah. And what do you think that would be?
I can't tell you what's happening right now. But if for us, from the sales point of site, is you just by population, the most number of by population of musical instruments, number one actually would be the singer.
Right.
Right, so that's where microphones come in very big mass. And microphones are not only for singing or for karaoke, for even podcasts. That's what we see here.
Sure.
Shout out, sure, good
Yeah.
luck, yeah. We
Yeah.
sound good
Yeah,
because
we sound good because sure, exactly.
and we look good because of the gears that Mezame have put us.
Thank you.
Fantastic on screen.
Yeah.
So of course, after that, it's the next in by population. I would say is the guitar. That's where a big chunk of everyone that want to play make music, pick up a guitar. You can bring an acoustic guitar anywhere, and you can just start to strum and sing, all right? And then get a bit more. We have the keyboards, the pianos, and you look at the full band, bass guitars, drums. So this is the whole like an ecosystem of a playing band. Right now, you will see there are actually less bands performing live than pre-COVID. So again, it's a chicken and egg. F&B operators are also suffering right now because of cost, because of operating cost, rental, and labor.
It's been on the rise again.
Yes.
Despite being
So-
after COVID.
Correct. So you see, always you hear bad news. Another cafe closing down, another restaurant closing down, a venue, so and so. That's what's happening now. So you get less opportunities for music creators or musicians to go out and perform. right? So yeah, full band is something that is, I would cherish. If there's a band playing, I would go and see, because it's you get to see less of it now. You normally see a two-piece acoustic songwriter, and yeah, so that's what's lacking right now. But it's can't be helped, because that's how economy is right now. Hoping that things would get better. Again, it's the trend, as we shared earlier. If we can create or rather the next trend will come up, and everybody gets inspired to make more music, and also still parking music as part of the overall content, because music now needs to be seen. It's not only be heard.
That's true. That's true.
Very much, right?
Yeah,
So
very much so.
everyone needs to have my new song needs to have a video. I need to have even a vertical TikTok content to circulate.
And I think this is where City Music comes in. You guys have actually done not something that's not I would say I don't want to say the word normal. You guys are doing something extraordinary for the creators. Yeah, that's the actual word I'm looking for. Extraordinary, because you have provided a platform for a lot of creators, even musicians, especially musicians, to give themselves the opportunity to stand in the limelight, and also, of course, to let them have the feel of how to perform live. Like you guys have open mic sessions for some of your events and all that, and I think this is something that I think I have to take my hat off to the marketing team behind City Music, because not only do you guys give opportunities for creators and musicians to shine, but you guys are actually finding the balance between the creators and the brands that support them, and of course, in return, this actually gives you proper dividends to the brand City Music itself. And I think a lot of creators find this very helpful, because I myself, when I first talk to some of my friends who are musicians, the first thing they say is, I don't know where to go. If I want to play music, I just go to a jamming studio and I jam. But you guys actually have a platform, and not just a platform for them to perform, but a platform to showcase themselves to the brands. And then somehow some of the brands actually continue working with them. Like when I look at people like Jirin, I look at people like Ao Chen, I look at people like Don Yap. Yeah. So because I myself work with Don Yap in my capacity for my day job, but I wouldn't have recognized or I wouldn't have discovered her if not for you guys. Yeah. So you guys actually give opportunities for creators to grow, for example. Having said that, so coming back to the marketing side of things, how would you say the trends are gonna be like maybe 3 or 5 years from now for events that you do? Because let's go back to the past again. Back when you guys are at Peace Center, you didn't have any of this. This is like completely different, right?
Yes, kind of different. I mean, back even when I was younger, like a kid, the kind of events that we did, we do have performances. We do have road shows, pop-ups at Sim Lim Square, pop-ups at the old World Trade Center.
Wow.
Yeah, trade shows.
For those of you guys who are wondering, it's not the one at New York City. It's the one at
not that one.
where Harbourfront is right now.
Yeah, yes, Harbourfront.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, we did road shows at East Coast Park. We actually did a lot of outdoor engagements that most people kind of forget about today, in terms of where everybody's on digital online right now. For me, what I see in the future of marketing, in terms of the things that we'll be doing, is there's too much focus on digital right now. I believe in the future it has to be a hybrid of both digital and physical activities. That is the whole part of the customer experience and the whole customer journey. Just earlier today I was driving to work and I overheard on the radio they were talking about retail experiences for consumers out there. And one of the guests actually made an important point, whereby there are still businesses out there who are still comparing the ratio between physical, offline, brick and mortar sales versus online e-commerce. He did indirectly infer that this kind of thinking is a bit backdated, because the whole customer journey has to be unified. If a customer goes down to a store and finds that this product is out of stock, he will expect to buy it online. It's still the same customer.
True.
So all the whole business operations, the whole CRM, the customer loyalty, the program, their accounts, their purchases, how you engage them, it all has to be one unified approach.
That's
so
true.
that goes the same way as before they even come into our store, how we engage them through our marketing activities. It has to be a combination of both online and offline events.
And I noticed also that you guys have something a little bit unique to the City Music brand. You guys actually have got an online shopping cart that moves around.
Yep, that's right.
That's pretty cool.
Well, we actually got the idea from, we basically went into live streaming because of COVID. Through COVID, we had to learn about what's OBS.
We're forced to basically.
Yeah, what's Atom Mini, right? What's audio side? We are pretty well versed in it. We use audio interfaces and stuff to do recording, how to connect our guitars, instruments into the computer and do recording, but never have we actually used it for live streaming until COVID.
COVID actually forced us to change perspectives on a lot of things and forced us to evolve.
Yeah, that's right.
Good thing and bad thing. Bad thing, because if we are not able to keep up, it can be very daunting. I've met some older gen folks who were struggling with the idea of live streaming. They were saying that it's so difficult. At first they thought it was quite easy because phone, go on YouTube or TikTok and it's quite easy. Then they realized that either they can't grow or maybe they find themselves lacking compared to others. And I think the comparison part is the thing that causes a lot of issues with them, because they start looking at, wow, that person got likes, maybe that's why I got more followers. That person got better mic, maybe that's why I got more listeners tuning in. So we start to see people start to wanting to adapt, during the COVID era. So I think that was also when we first met, during the COVID period. I think it was me approaching you guys for support for a short film that I was making, and my neighbor's drilling.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good way to test whether the Shure SM7B and SM7DB's dynamic options, dynamic mics actually perform well under duress. From my upstairs neighbors, I think it's a side one. I can't remember. Yeah, joys of recording in a home studio. Yeah, so for me, during COVID, I did encounter these issues as well as a live streamer, renovations next door and things like that. So I started to really learn more about audio, and I have to thank you guys for actually, not just supporting me with the hardware, but teaching me along the way, through all your various events and all that. A lot of I can share with you right now, a lot of content creators who I have spoken to and invited to your events found them very, very useful. And they actually feel that, not many people actually provide this kind of avenue for learning, engagement, and support. But you guys did. Yeah. But I'm always curious, why? Why did you decide to go down this route of, running all these workshops, seminars, and events? I mean, you could have continued doing what you did at, World Trade Center. No, there's no World Trade Center now. It's Harbourfront now. I keep on forgetting sometimes. Yeah, even to today, so my wife would be like, hey, let's meet at Vivo City. I was like, Vivo City where? Then she would be like, the old World Trade Center. It's like, yeah, I don't know why. It's just stuck there lah. Child of the 80s, Yeah, so why do you decide to go down this path?
Again, it's all due to COVID. One of the key things you mentioned just now was a lot of the older generation, they did not know how to go online, actually, to go to live streams. So quite a lot of the veteran musicians back then, during the lockdown, they were very, very badly affected. We understood the importance of trying to keep the industry alive. So we had to reach out to all our fellow peers, fellow partners in the music industry to find out how they're doing. A lot of them lost their gigs. They couldn't perform live. We tried to go online because that was the only thing we could do back then.
Yep.
Even for our cine music during the lockdown, we could only operate our e-commerce. So there are also selected days where our guys will go back to office to do packing for e-commerce. At the same time, we also have to check on our friends in the music industry, how are they doing and things like that. That's when we discovered many of them don't even know how to connect an audio interface to go into live stream. What platform to use? Do I go into Facebook? Do I go into TikTok? How do I do virtual basking? Can I use Pay Now? Get people to donate to me?
Yeah.
So we decided back then to actually loan out a lot of our audio equipment to our partners and our friends out there. Just take it and use, try to go online.
With no expectations whatsoever. It's just loan out. Wow.
No.
Wow. That's amazing.
The expectation was hopefully this whole COVID thing can just
Die off.
as soon as possible. And with the expectation back then of, things maybe can go back to normal. But as of course we all learn, things wouldn't go back to normal. Which also sort of answers the question of why we decided to go down this route.
Yeah, I think like I said, we are forced to evolve and adapt. And good and bad lah. Good and bad. Because the way I see it, if you actually stay stagnant, then you might risk becoming irrelevant. And knowing how fast paced this world can be, this is how things are now. It's the new world basically. After COVID, everything's changing. We should totally have like a zero AC, zero after COVID or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So having said that also, like I do notice also that it feels like there's a very big difference between City Music Peace Center and City Music 3.0 LHK building. The vibes are very different. Like when I walk into your store, it doesn't feel like a store anymore. It really feels like a giant playground. Like there's musical instruments everywhere. There's places where your staff can actually sit down with the customers, have a chat. It feels like walking into a family home, with all the staff being on standby to just give that kind of love and support to all your customers and potential customers alike. And like I said, it doesn't feel like a store. It feels more like an extension of someone's home, basically. Is that the reason why you designed this to be like that? Because the reason why I brought this up is because when I first visited you guys, the first thing you mentioned was, this is a fully modular space and it's open to all. And I remember that very, very clearly because you were very proud of it. And I can see why. It's such a beautiful place. But I also want to understand why go down this way. Why you could have just another store. Yeah.
Okay, so we call this our new home, our current home, City Music 3.0. It just occurred to us that's what we're going to call it. So we call it a space, not so much of a shop. You remember our previous outlet at Peace Center.
Yep.
Very old building, very iconic building, and lots of history for us, obviously, because that's where a big part of the Singapore indie music scene grew up along Seligi Road. That's where we were located along.
Yep.
And the building was so old that it went through what we call collective sale, because they want to sell the building en bloc.
Yeah.
And it went through 6 cycles. That means on the 6th attempt, finally it managed to pull through the whole en bloc process.
Why 6 cycles? Is it because there are some owners who refuse to sign?
Correct. So if you talk about each en bloc cycle takes about 3 to 5 years. So we're talking about almost 18 years of this whole 6 cycles of en bloc. Obviously, the first three attempt wasn't as successful because they need to get 80% of owners to sign first
To agree, basically.
Agree to sell.
Yeah.
Right. So they couldn't get it. But the last 2 to 3 attempts, they managed to get the 80% to sign. But out of which 2 of them, they could not find the buyer to buy at the asking price.
Right.
So it was only at the last attempt, which was 3 years ago, and they managed to finally secure. The owners all agreed to sell because a lot of the owners are also getting very old.
Yeah.
they're in age and they want to let go, so they don't mind selling off. So they need to find a buyer. So finally, they managed to find a buyer at the very last minute. It almost did not go through.
Wow. Sounds like a Netflix
Correct.
episode.
So for us, occupying in that space, so we were there for 43 years.
Wow. That's the number I got.
Yeah, that's the number you got. Okay, so you can imagine after each failed attempt of this collective sale en bloc, the main management of the building, because they still want to sell it off. So they're not going to spend so much effort to upkeep the building as tip-top building like in Orchard Road. We are, I would say the building was kind of dodgy, getting more and more dodgy over the years.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I remember you did a very nice clip of the toilet.
Oh, the
That was
flickering
beautiful.
lights.
Yeah, so like it's like a horror scene, right?
It is. Oh my gosh, that brings back a lot of memories, because I remember that was when we had a meeting in that. It was a small room.
Correct.
Outside along the corridor, away from the main entrance of City Music's actual store. I recall this very clearly suddenly. Yeah.
So for us, we also know that the space was, because we moved in 1980. The space was designed for that era. Over the years, we just try to modify and adapt. As what we're talking about today's topic, being adaptable.
Yep.
So we adapt as best as we can, but we also don't want to spend too much on the renovation, because we know the next en bloc process is going to start over again.
Yeah.
So when we finally got it sealed the deal, the building got to go. That means we got to go. So we got to go and find us an area. So we decided to move out of the mall. We move out from the city, because we know a lot of the things that we used to do, like Hsin Loong has mentioned. We also have been doing a lot of content, a lot of events, activities, even those days already. But we could only do it within that constraint of the physical premise. Now that we had it's a blank piece of paper, we basically designed the space up from scratch. We had the pleasure and honor of working with a very, very nice interior designer that loved the idea that we are from the music industry, because that's what.
Was he a musician as well?
No. But he has been quite award-winning designer, I would say.
Wow.
He has built this very nice spin gym that looks like a Tron movie setting.
Wait, spin gym as in the bicycle thing.
Yeah. So they came in with a lot of excitement, knowing that we are rock and roll, and threw in a lot of crazy ideas. We threw in our ideas how we want to. Our visualization of how we want the space to be.
Yep.
So, the first time we came in and you saw how it is, it really materialized. We had a lot of sessions of fighting with the designer, because they want to do this, right? We had to tell them, design is nice, but, functionality may not, things like weight loading. They want to choose certain material. They said, I'm going to hang 200 guitars on this wall.
Yeah.
Your design is very nice, but you need to do something about it.
It's not practical, basically.
Yeah, correct. So the engineering had to come in also. So that's why we have spent a lot of time, a lot of effort to really put our head together to see what really can work. We love all their designs that they put up. We love how so they actually listen to us how we want to put the customer's journey once they enter. You said that right. Our space is also modular, so we can actually do activities. We can do workshops. You see a lot of lights now. We shoot a lot of content. As what Hsin Loong has said, the experience of online and offline has to be unified today, and that's why we don't call our space a shop. It's no longer a shop. It's actually a e-commerce studio. It's a studio for creating content for us, for brands that we represent, for even partners like Shure, for example. We did quite a number of events and content with them also. So again, this is partnership. And of course, it's all about making connections, connecting the brands, all the different parties together with creators like yourself.
Thank you.
We created, we made a connection with you and a few other brands really, actually. It's not just Shure and Zoom, but also you have brought in more connections. So the space, both the physical space and the online. That means through our marketing that we do, it's to basically make a lot of connection to bring everybody together. It's not only musicians, because we, as I said, we part music side of it as part of the creator content creation umbrella. So that's how we design this space, that we want to the business will come. It's no, today we can't just open a shop and expect people to just come in and, I want to hard sell you, you buy something. It's not.
And hard sell doesn't really work anymore these days.
And you mentioned about our cart that moves around the space. Yes, that's just a solution that we can, because we grew from this, everything, a lot of the things just supercharged from COVID. We grew from just doing our first live stream. During we had the lockdown we thought it was a 1 month. Yeah, right. It ended up for 6 to 8 months, I think. So we fortunately we had our e-commerce, so we could operate. And my sales team was immediately hit the hardest, because they have no more physical customers to come in to sell products.
Yeah.
So we told them, and can each of you all bring back one product and go and live stream at home? I'll provide you whatever equipment you need to live stream.
So they're making content from home.
That's how we started our live streaming journey. Okay. And when we started our live streaming journey, it was so hilarious, because every single session, something will pop up.
Something will go wrong.
No sound, no video, distorted sound, no internet, freeze image, so on. But the audience are kind and understanding, because this is live. They say, okay, no, something will tell you, oh, too loud or too sound, no sound, and so on. So we will, our guys will just adjust on the spot. There's also a very interesting section that whereby we have limited number of staff that can come in to operate our e-commerce. So they'll be packing our e-commerce orders for our clients, and they also live stream. Let's say they open up a camera, and we have a afternoon lunchtime session called chat while we pack. So they're packing the order.
I think I tuned in one of those before. I remember.
It was quite fun. It was quite creative of my sales team.
It was on Facebook, I think.
We did it on Facebook at the time. Yeah. So the principle is very simple. We can go live stream. Everyone can live stream now.
Yeah.
But what medium, what equipment, how are you going to do it? So that was a perfect opportunity for us to keep ourselves relevant. At least, although we cannot open shop, people can see, okay, we're still around. We are talking about, we're packing products. The team was packing the products, and this is a microphone. This is good for so and so. Going out to within 2 days you should be receiving a product, and every product that they talk about, we got inquiries.
So it sells by itself.
So it sells.
Sells by itself. And I think that's the beauty of e-commerce. It's all convenience. And especially during COVID, where we're not allowed to go to brick and mortar stores,
Correct.
At least this time the what do you call that? The product comes to us instead. Yeah.
There was also a very interesting story that came out in newspaper about us, that we were, at that point, we were the only vendor in Singapore that had enough USB microphones to go around. At that time, it was like an essential item. Everybody was working from home.
Yep.
We had that many USB microphones by accident, because we had to order so many.
Exactly.
Because our principal forced us, you need to order at minimum order quantity.
There's an MOQ.
Correct. But, and it was like, okay, bite the bullet, order, and who knows, COVID came and everybody needed USB microphones. And boom, we sold out.
Which moment did it like a spark off in your mind and go like, maybe this is the path we need to go through? Because I know that when the principal or the brand tells you that you have to make an MOQ, there's definitely friction, some kind of resistance from your side, because you are unsure whether it's going to sell or not. So at which point do you start to go like, okay, we should just continue? Is it because of the first bulk of the sale happening?
Yeah, definitely. It's when the challenge of us being a distributor or importer, you probably also will understand there would be, being a distributor is tough.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm talking about sales now. Being a distributor, for like a better word, to put it bluntly, is like, we are like slaves. We're like prostitutes,
No.
We are very often being sandwiched in between.
It is true.
The brands.
It is true.
Brands have expectations of us. You buy in, but you need to sell through.
Correct.
So again, we need to sell through our reseller partners or we can also have to sell direct to our end users. So that's where the magic number, the forecasting comes in, how much money you're going to put in. So even if there's MOQ, minimum order quantity, 200 pieces, so they do our own calculations, how many months of inventory is that going to be you'll be sitting on? Are you able to turn it in cash in 6 months, 9 months, or a year, and so on? So these are all the different business decisions and calculations we have to take into consideration.
I was just about to ask Hsin Loong, especially when it comes to marketing. We are talking about ROI here, right? So in Hsin Loong's case, in Yeegn Loung's case, he was talking about talking to the brands and selling it out to the customers and all that. But for you guys, you also do marketing work in City Music, and now we're talking about working with creators. When you work with creators, this is something also I also grapple with from my day job as well. Would you say that there's expectations of ROI for working with the creators? And if so, how?
Well, I think there needs to be an alignment of expectations between creators and brands who wish to sponsor creators. We are in a more unique industry whereby we are not dealing with FMCG products here.
What was FMCG for those
fast-moving consumer goods? Yeah, so we're not selling iPhones, iPads. We're not selling PlayStations. We're selling very niche products. That this is also one of the reasons why we decided not to be in a shopping mall anymore. We designed City Music to be a destination hub. If you travel all the way to our space at LHK Building, Sims Drive, most probably you as a customer are prepared to buy our products. You've already done your research online. You've seen what you need to see. And so most of our products, when we work with content creators, first of all, we don't expect to sell huge amounts of it because so-and-so KOL has helped us to promote this product. But it's more of seeding the market with this product by telling the content creators, look, I'm not going to pay you $5,000 or $500 for this post. I can't, because your viewers are not going to buy my products. But what I'm going to do is to help you gain more followers, gain more viewers so that you can create better content. You can bring yourself up to the next level. Yeah. And we want to accompany you on your journey as a creator. That's what we want to do. So how we work with KOLs, the kind of ROI is kind of difficult to measure, actually. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is to make friends with these KOLs. You mentioned earlier that you are thankful for City Music to have a space that allows creators out there to give them an opportunity. Actually, it works both ways. We are very thankful for the help that creators have also given us, like you, like Dawn, like so many of the others. Ultimately, City Music and the space here that we have is all about making friends and connections. Because to survive this post-COVID world, we can't do it alone.
Agree.
We need the help of people in the industry, partners.
To light up the home studio for the podcast, we actually use Amaran lights. Here we have the F22X mounted on an auto pole, and here we have the Verge, as well as the Panel 120C. The sound of my voice right now you can hear is coming through the Shure SM7DB as well as the SM7B. If you're enjoying the podcast so far, remember to hit the like button, leave a comment below, maybe with your favorite emoji or even name of someone you want me to bring onto the show, and better yet, hit the subscribe button. That will really help the channel grow. Thank you. And I think it's also very important to note that speaking of ROI, sometimes it's not about monetary terms. Sometimes we talk about value.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important thing to consider. Like for example, when I work with a brand, for example, even for myself, I want to see like what is the value I can bring for them, and what's the value they can provide me in return, because it has to be a two-way street, right? And for me, like when I work with some brands, like what you said, you're prepared to purchase something. For my case, it's more like I'm prepared to work with that particular brand because I already did my research. I really want to work with this brand. Like for example, Shure, I'm like, every time I hear Shure sound, I'm like, it's different from the rest. It sounds so good. Yeah, and the legacy behind the brand is very, very important as well. Like when I think about Shure, I think about Michael Jackson. Yeah, one of my favorite pop stars of all time, and when I listen to his voice, I go like, there's a Shure mic. Yeah. So similarly for you, I think and when you work with all these KOLs, would you say that by association, the KOLs being associated with city music, they feel that sense of homeliness and pride? And that's something that you actually want to instill in them.
Wow.
Or is this something accidental?
Wow. Actually, we never really thought about it that way, actually. But yeah, we did design the space to be welcoming to not just content creators, KOLs, but also to industry professionals.
Right.
People who may not be selling us things as a supplier, but they may be consultants, professionals in the industry. Just come by, talk to us. We got all the products here, but we don't always have to talk about products. We can sit down, have a coffee, talk about what's going on in the industry, what are some of the challenges, what are some of the opportunities. So that's kind of where we actually designed this space to be. I think I feel flattered that you feel that city music is homely.
It is. It is very, very homely.
We heard a few comments as well. So yeah, I mean, we hope that this can become a second home for many of the other creators out there in the industry.
And for those of you guys tuning in right now, I'm not paid by them to say this, but this is my own personal experience. Okay, so for myself, when I first met these two gentlemen for my first collaboration, that was with another brand, of course. We instantly connected. I felt very welcomed in even their old space, and now with their new location, it feels even more homely. And the most important thing is that we actually have very honest conversations about the business as well as about how we can actually help each other. And I think that's very, very important. When a brand or a principal or a distributor or a dealer actually is able to be very forthcoming and honest with you about what they expect of you and where the trajectory is when it comes to the business. This is the kind of people you want to keep in touch with, to be honest, because this is it's no longer just a business transaction, it's a relationship. And I appreciate that kind of synergy between us, because when we meet each other for coffee, as you say, it feels like a friend visit. It doesn't feel like a business transaction at all anymore. So yeah, thank you.
My sales team really love to connect with customers and clients and friends. I would dare say our sales team is quite knowledgeable in almost all the products that we are selling. So the space is designed in the sense that it's not a 7-Eleven, just come in and pack, grab and go.
Yeah.
We really love the fact that if our clients can schedule appointment with us, so that we can actually, the space is all about, well, for us, city music after COVID is all about, it's not selling you a microphone. No, it's no longer anymore. Just sell you and go. It's customizing and tailoring a solution for your needs. That's what it should be moving forward, because someone can come in, I want to buy a microphone. I want to buy this mic, for example. We're not interested, because I'm more interested to see what are you going to use it for. At the end of the day, our sales team wants to achieve the end game is, we can be selling anything, but the more end game is the clients are going to come and buy from us because of how we are able to engage and not teach, but I won't say teach or advise, but at least we share information. So I want to set up a podcast studio. So you need a microphone, for example. So I'm going to give you a solution for your podcast. Home studio, you need microphone, you need cables, boom arms, mixers, stands, the whole works. So you can book an appointment with us. We can actually run you through, and there are so many. And because it's a solution, it can be customizable. You can go small, or you can go big, or go home if you want to. it's the sky's the limit. We can work with you on that. So, and our team loves the very fact that that's why we do all these workshops. The workshops can be, we have done, like, it can be audio workshops, it can be guitar maintenance workshop, it can be showcase of or sometimes that space we also would showcase new artists they want to. So again, it's by holding the hands of our clients. They can be creators like yourself. And well, of course, if you're just going to depend just on creators market, it's not a very big market in Singapore. But why do we still bother to work with all of you? Because you all are going to be the one inspiring the rest of the other followers. I also want to be like Mezame, for example.
Oh, wow.
He's so good at that.
Thank you.
So for us, is when we can have both the brands, the people, the hardware, the space, our marketing online itself, all put together, and we start a crowd fund. All right. So we put the brand together, we put all the artists, we put all the influencers together. What can we do together? You want to measure how to measure the monetization of that. We can't really measure, but we definitely can see, whoa, it could be something leading quite big. And we start to bring communities of with like-minded together to push. Ever since we've been doing that, it's natural. We have a lot of people knocking on our doors. I want to be sponsored. Everybody wants to be sponsored. So going back to the earlier topic about expectations, we also now need to align the expectations of the brands and also the KOLs, or it cannot be a one-way traffic
Agree.
on both sides.
Yeah.
A lot of brands have this, through our experience, have this concern. I can give you products, but in return, it became a one-way traffic, and it always happens.
Wow.
All right.
You mean the KOLs actually receive the product and just disappear?
Yeah. And sometimes not to put anyone to shame or to blame anyone. It's sometimes the expectations may not be have not been communicated clearly. Of course, there are also bad eggs out there, and sometimes it could also be miscommunication, or management of the artist sometimes can also get in the way, or change the course of direction of how the collaboration can be. But very important, what we realize is we're going to tell the brand. Sometimes we recommend, like I recommended you to work with Shure,
Much appreciated. Thank
right?
you.
Which I told Shure, here we have a very, very strong KOL for the brand here. This is what he probably can do for you, all right? And I also got to come and tell you, here is a brand that there are certain things that, they expect each side. And if all these check boxes are all tick and all can, I think we can walk a long, long way. And then it will start to open other doors.
Definitely.
Other brands.
Definitely.
We can bring in the lighting brands. We can bring in other stuff. We can bring other partners on. So that's how we want to grow this community. So again, it's all about this community that that's why we organize these events. When community come together with a same goal in mind, they feel good about it, they talk about it, they sometimes will inspire each other to spend more.
Very true.
Poison.
Yeah, poison.
Yeah. So that's it's not so much of how much advertising dollars I'm going to put in on newspaper or Google ads and Facebook ads. Not so much of that really. So it's all about connections.
Connections and value, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's also very important, like what you mentioned, communication is very important and key in all sorts of collaborations. And this is something I also want to touch on a little, but since you brought it up, I'll just mention it now. KOLs that you work with who disappear on you, or maybe did not meet your expectations. So what then? Are you answerable to the brands and principals, or do you hunt the KOLs down and go, you're still streaming, I'm going to find you, I know where you live? No, I'm just kidding.
No, we don't. I mean, we'll try to salvage as best possible. Sometimes it can be overlooked. Sometimes it can be a genuine oversight.
Yeah.
And very often we are able to turn things back around. So of course, as the more we do, we get slightly a bit sharper now. You know, we know certain artists or certain KOLs that we really want to work. In fact, you have recommended quite a lot of artists to us also.
Oh,
And
good people.
good people. And we value that because once they come on board, you know, we also start to open them up. You know, it can just be for lights, it can be for a microphone, but a lot other things can also open up. Other doors can open up.
Yeah, that's good. And I think it's also very important as creators, you know, especially if you're tuning in right now, you're a creator yourself, that when you're given opportunities, don't squander it. You know, I've seen so many unfortunate cases whereby they are given an opportunity to network, especially with the brands or with yourself as a distributor or dealer, and they fumble at the door. Like the door is there, they grab the handle and they fumble at the door because maybe they're not prepared. Maybe they are not certain of what to say, what to do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you remember there was one person I brought over and he immediately rambled open. I don't even recall, but when I was there and I actually told him after that, like, hey, you know, this is not something you should have done. And recently I caught up with him again and you know, he's doing a lot better. Like you know, a bit more prepared. He has his own marketing deck now. He's got his own name card and all that. Basically, took the advice that I gave him like to heart.
There you go.
And I think it's very important that, you know, when they approach people like yourselves, you know, like they have to be prepared. I mean, like if you're tuning in right now and you're thinking of looking for sponsorships and all that, do your due diligence, do your research, prepare yourself. Don't go in to a shark-infested waters and expect to survive. You know, it's not going to happen. So, having said that, do you have any advice you'd like to give to potential KOLs that you'd like to explore working with? Let's start with Hsin Loong first.
Drawing from experience from when we first did our live streaming, where mentioned we had a lot of hiccups.
Yeah.
And the fact that our viewers are very forgiving. So to all aspiring content creators out there, don't be afraid. Just go and try. You are going to mess up. You are going to screw up. You're going to F things up.
That's normal. That's normal.
But just do it, because if you don't try, you won't learn, and you won't know who your audience are. Right? Your audience who are true to you, they're going to be supportive of you. They're going to be understanding of your whole learning process. In fact, they want to be part of your learning process. They want to see how you grow as well.
I like that. I like that very much because a lot of these creators don't realize that they do have genuine supporters in terms of friends or even relatives who want to see them grow. Yeah. And unfortunately, some of them are bogged down by this thing called imposter syndrome. Yeah. So when imposter syndrome strikes, that's when they start to realize that that's when they feel, not realize, but feel that they're not good enough to approach even super friendly folks like these guys over here, you know. Yeah. So if, let's say, for example, you have a creator who is suffering from this sort of imposter syndrome, not knowing how to approach you, what would you do or say to them to give them that kind of confidence? Or is it one of those like, hey, just come lah, it's okay. Just drink coffee with us. We just have a chat. Because that's what I feel when it comes to you guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what we would do. Yeah. We will encourage him to just drop by our space as and when. Drop by more often, because we don't pressure you to buy. We don't pressure you to comment or do anything. Come by, see how we do things. We can share how we tackle certain technical stuff, certain soft skills that you may require. When you're comfortable, just jump right into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. Then England, what about yourself? Like how would you communicate to these KOLs, you know, whether they are confident or still building up the confidence, trying to reach out to the different brands to maybe do some collaborations or something like that?
I think once in a while, we would just go out and see who's out there. Or sometimes you will give me some names, all right, we'll check it out. Sometimes we will contact them, direct message them on Instagram, for example. Sometimes they may approach us. But I would say is, do not be shy, be thick skin. Nothing to lose.
Thick skin, guys.
Nothing to lose, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
You can always try, okay? But when you try, I think you also need to bring up to the table, what you want and what you can give in return. And what we strongly advocate is we don't do a one-off transaction. All right. If someone going to come to us, okay, I'm going to do a post for you for $500. I said, sorry, not in our radar. We are looking for more than that. It's a long-term relationship that we want to build. And I will also highly advocate to get out there, and because I realize that a lot of creators are online, they also need to get offline
Yeah,
and connect with people
that's
physically.
true. Networking events, very important.
So that is when we start to go out, doors will open again. When they meet Mezame, we're going to open some doors for these newbies. Like I said, one of your this teenage boy that came.
Asher?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a brilliant kid, 15 this year.
precisely.
And recently.
look at his content today.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
And the best part is we actually sat side by side for Shure's 100-year anniversary recently for the panel, alongside Ao Cheng, of course. And we had a very good conversation with your audience members, and that was really a good indication of how far he has come along.
And I will say he has been fine-tuned with the right frame mindset. Right mindset.
Yeah.
What to do, what not to do, as a content creator, and I think he's going to have a good long way to go.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, and he's very blessed with very supportive parents. Yeah, I have a story to share. For those of you tuning in right now, if you think that this boy Asher had it easy, he did not. When he first visited my old office back in the past, the whole family, 3 generations worth, himself, his sister, his mom, his dad, his grandma, and his aunt, they all came into our office and had a discussion. Back then we were working with another brand, of course, and then we were trying to introduce him to this brand. And the funny thing is, his mom said no. His mom said no. At first, she was very hesitant to let Asher do this. And it's kind of funny because we're talking about this right now, but I'm actually inviting him to my podcast as well.
Awesome.
I'd like to hear more about him, as a creator. But back then it was quite incredible to see the mom saying no, and then about 1 hour plus later they came back. I think they had a chat in the car park or something. She came back up with him, said, "Okay, I'm gonna give my son a shot. We'll try." And I'm so glad she did, because
When was that?
We were still at our old office in Oxy Sub. So I think it was last year.
Okay.
Early last year. I
Wow,
think.
just last year. Where he is now.
Exactly. And I don't want to take credit for what happened to him, of course, because he deserves all the credit himself. Like, at the end of the day, he's very hardworking. And that's something that I would like to, share with you guys tuning in at home as well. Folks like these 2 fine gentlemen over here are not just looking for creators with a huge following. I'm very sure you're also looking at people who want to put in the effort.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And that spells a lot. So for those of you guys who are tuning in right now, if you are looking forward to working with different brands under City Music, feel free to start building your marketing deck. Very important, I think this is something that maybe we can explore in the future. For us here at my company and yours, we can introduce KOLs and all that, but I think it's also a good way to check in the creators and find out how best can we support them and guide them along. Because like I said, that friend of mine I brought along when he first met you, England, the first thing he did was just rattle how many people was watching his stream on Twitch. You recall that, right? But after I told him that, dude, do you think for a second that was a very awkward way to start a conversation with somebody? Yeah. So sometimes it's all about the way we communicate to people as well. To start that conversation, and a lot of creators still need that kind of I won't say lesson, but more like a opportunity to learn from. Yeah. Okay.
They need mentorship from you.
Oh, no, they can come to City Music's events, because that's where they can meet a lot of potential mentors as well.
Also, thank you for supporting for most of our events, actually.
Oh, no, my pleasure, because you guys are doing something fantastic and phenomenal here. Like I said, post-COVID, when I got to know you guys, I never seen any other people doing this kind of something similar for content creators. I mean, I'm sure there are, but not the ones at your level. And I think this is something that you guys should be proud of as well. Yeah. Okay, onward to the last question of the day. This is something that I've been wanting to know more of. Like, where is city music going to next? Where are you guys heading to? Like now we are looking at 3.0. What are your plans for 4.0? Or is it a secret?
Well, not really a secret, but I mean, we haven't really given much thought yet, or at least haven't given much thought yet. We are still in the early stages of City Music 3.0. It's been about 2 years since we moved to our new space. And this year has actually really been one of the most challenging years for us.
Oh, why is
City
that?
Music. I mean, in terms of, we look at the market sentiments, the economy out there, and also even personally for our family itself. I won't share too much, but we do have a medical emergency
Oh no.
within our family. And so me and Yeegn Lougn, and together with our family members, we have been doubling up as caregivers as well. So that has been taking a toll on us.
Wow.
Being quite a big challenge for us. So I would say this year will be one of the most challenging years for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah, but fortunately, our team in Cine Music have been. I mean, we're very, very thankful for the team that we have now that is championing the visions that we have. And they also have brought out new visions for us, new initiatives, so that it's they're pushing things forward, even where we may not be 100% at our workspace. All right, but to answer your question, what next is definitely going to be, we're going to be a lot more online,
Right. Awesome.
because I think that's, we already started this journey. We're just going to find, I mean, where is the internet going? You know, it's anybody's guess. We probably also have a lot of question marks where you can go. But definitely we will be continuing pursuing a journey both online and offline. That means our space is still very important because we need to make connections. We need to meet people. We need to talk to people. We always welcome someone a potential client may have done his own research on the microphone that he want to get here. He had watched 100 reviews already, but very often we realize experiences by the time they come to our space, they just want to have a final affirmation with our sales team. Okay, disclaimer: we are not the typical sharks kind of a sales guys here.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, we basically want to empower you with the information for you to make the decision whether you want to purchase or not. So at the end of the day, our motto is from the beginning has always been, we've been true to our motto is not what I want to sell you. Is what we're more interested in what you are buying. So that's what has been keeping us alive and being very grounded. So we definitely want you to we definitely want to sell you something.
Yeah.
But it's we want to make sure that you're buying from the right people and you're also buying the right solutions.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's in a nutshell how I can summarize how we'll continue to move forward in that aspect, be it in the digital domain or even in a physical space.
Awesome.
There will also be other new directions in terms of product solutions. It may come along the way. Definitely looking at it too.
Wow. That's the thing I love about City Music, guys. You're all adapting to something, and
We have to.
That is a very important key takeaway I got from this conversation with you guys. Yeah. So thank you so much for dropping by my humble little home studio space.
Not humble at all. Thank you for having us, Mezame.
Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And looking forward to working with you guys more and seeing how best we can further support the local content creator community.
Congratulations on the Hungry Creator podcast.
Thank you.
Looking forward to more of your other guests.
Yeah. Do you know why it's called Hungry Creators, by the way?
You did share. It's not that you're really hungry,
I'm
but
very
you're hungry.
Yeah, I'm very hungry. Because haven't had breakfast. No, because the whole idea. This is something that I did not share with anyone yet. The Hungry Creators podcast I shared before. It's it's a word play on the starving artist, and because I was very inspired by Steve Jobs saying, "Stay foolish, stay hungry," right? But there's also another part of the story which I've not shared, and I want to wait until today to share with those listening in right now,
Wow.
and it has something to do with you guys.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is my personal sharing session, which I only share with my wife. I didn't share with anyone, and I want to share with you guys because I felt that this is a very special occasion. So the reason why I call it a Hungry Creators podcast is because when it's a homage to the time when I was a full-time live streamer on Twitch, and when I first approached you guys, for support and sponsorship for audio equipment for the short film. Wow, this is almost emotional for me, because I'll be very honest and frank. I was down to my last few dollars in my bank account, and this was the tail end of live streaming, and I was like, I'm gonna just do something that hopefully will change things around. Because during COVID, I don't know if you guys know this, those who are tuning in right now, being a live streamer actually does have its perks, right? You get to play games, you get to work from home, and you still get paid to a certain extent, right? Either by subscriptions or by brand deals and things like that. And I was doing quite okay for a while. But when circuit breaker got lifted and COVID became like not so scary anymore because we already have vaccines and stuff like that, it became very difficult to stay afloat. And I was running low on cash. I was bleeding. Operating cost is one thing. You work from home, you have your live streaming set up, all that costs money, electric bills and all that. And I was like, wow, I need to find a way out of this. So when I approached City Music, looking for sponsorship to make a short film, I was at my hungriest. I really want to do well for this short film. I really want to make something good. I mean, not great, but good enough that hopefully will bring some laughs, because the whole idea is it's a comedy show, right?
Yeah.
And I remember pitching to the two of you. I think there's this idea behind me. I was like so intent on showing you what I can do. And that's why immediately after our conversation, I went to the toilet and saw the freaking light, and I shot it with my iPhone and sent to you just to like give you that last bit of confidence, like, look, this is what I can do. And it's a sneak preview of what I can achieve with simple cinematography with an iPhone. Like, I don't know why I did that, but I was like, at that point, I was so hungry as a creator. I just want to like prove to you guys I can do it. And believe it or not, thank you. Because believe it or not, at that point in time, there was this imposter syndrome hitting me so hard. I was like, wow, I just went through a conversation with you. I don't know whether you say yes, but hopefully you will. And then hopefully you will support this endeavor, this short film. I don't know whether it's going to make or break the internet or whatever, but that's secondary. To me, the most important thing is that I want to see how we can work together. So coming back to being the hungry creator that I was back then, I was like hungry, literally, bank account dwindling, can't really put food on the table as much. And then when you said yes to the short film, that was wow, and the reason why that short film was very important is because that short film landed me this job today. And you guys were...
You should put the link for that short film in the description.
I just might.
Yeah. You should. And yeah, I think that your audience deserves to look at that film.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just want to share that, and I want to say thank you, because you guys.
We didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because that short film, the audio part was super important. You guys came on board. You brought that. You supported with headsets and the microphones and all that. And I think back then I got to know Alvin as well, so he brought some support for lighting. I think Nunlight was the one that came on board. And it was because of all this that short film was possible. And if not for you guys, the audio part will be missing. And yeah,
actually, audio is very important for horror films.
It is. And that short film was quite well received among the community, among our group of friends. But yeah, like I mentioned to the cast, like if you guys want to use this short film as a platform to showcase your acting or whatever capability or whatever you contributed in the short film to help yourself get a job, because most of those people who were in that short film, they were in between jobs or looking for something, for themselves. And I did tell them that this is our short film. It's not mine. It's our short film. So feel free to use it as is, whatever it is that you want to use it for. So for me, I was quite blessed that I got the job here, and that resulted in this.
Amazing story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think I'm gonna go back and watch that film again.
Okay.
It's been 2 years, right?
Oh wow, has it been 2 years? No,
Yeah,
3 years. 3 years plus. Yeah, 3 years plus. That was in October, Halloween 2022.
Halloween, that's right.
Yeah, so it was thanks to you guys that
No,
this
I mean
happened.
you deserve what you have today.
Yeah. So for those of you guys tuning in right now, I just want to share with you guys, if you are looking to grow as a content creator, look up to gentlemen like this who are really, really helpful and very, very, I would say, generous with their offers. Not don't expect like freebies and stuff like that. Of course, that's the wrong mindset. But I'm saying is that they actually brought value to the community at large for the content creator industry here in Singapore. So thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up here for our. This is actually, by the way, the very first episode, the official one, because the previous one is episode 00, so this is episode 01. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wrap it up here and say thank you once again to both Hsin Loong and Yeegn Lougn for making the time to come over here, despite the workload and despite the challenges that they actually face in the personal life. I didn't know about that. Hopefully things will get better, and hopefully whatever ails your family will be resolved as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get hungry.
Let's get hungry. All right. So that's all for today, guys. Remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment below, whether you're on Spotify or YouTube. If you have any questions, you can just leave a comment below. Then maybe I'll get them to reply in post-production. And if you have any other thoughts that you want to share with us pertaining to what we discussed today, feel free to just leave it in the comments below as well. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. All right. Cheers.